and Josh are dutiful.
Well, we most certainly are the dutiful dudes of Westeros here. It's Rob and Josh talking about House of the Dragon. It's House of the Mermaid Dragon. I'm Josh Wigler. I'm joined here by Rob Cesternino. Rob, I choose you as my podcast co-host.
Yes. Okay. Like a dragon, like or like Martin and Lisa Simpson.
Maybe a little bit of both. Man, we don't talk about Martin enough, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did I get the right Simpsons nerd? Is it Martin?
Well, I believe it's Ralph.
Ralph.
In that particular instance, but we just don't talk about Martin ever, I feel like. I feel like Ralph has taken all of Martin. Like Martin has big Ralph energy. And so like Ralph has also like big Ralph energy because it's his energy to begin with. So we just don't talk about Martin.
This is the wrong Cesternino to talk about the Simpsons. That my kids are just crushing Simpsons episodes.
Well, look, I hope it's the right Cesternino to talk about George R.R. Martin with, because we're talking about...
It's actually not. But... my wife is so into the lore.
It's the guy I got, you know?
Yeah.
Love the one you're with. Like, look.
Second best out of 4.
Would I prefer if like one of the pure-blooded Targaryens were driving on a dragon with me? Absolutely.
Sure. You got a real bastard.
I'll take this bastard if this is what I got. I'll let you in. Welcome back, everybody. House of the Mermaid Dragon, in which Rob and I talk about House of the Dragon, and then we talk about Survivor 46, which I am watching for the first time in the back half. A lot happened in the Survivor 46 universe. I'm pissed that we're gonna have to wait several minutes, more than several minutes before
season 2 episode several.
Yeah, that's right. Season 2 episode several of House of the Dragon, titled The Red Sowing.
Yeah, I just saw that now. What was sowing?
The Red Sowing is the name of this episode. Is that because like this episode, like the way that you say like that's so Raven, that's sowing this episode, because there's just like so much dragon stuff going on. This episode of House of the Dragon, sowing, about as winged out as an episode of House of the Dragon has ever been.
And the last episode was also the Red Dragon. So right? Oh no, that was earlier this season. That was Season 2, episode 4, Red Dragon and the Gold.
Should you not be able to have 2 episodes called Red in the same season?
I guess you can.
I think like we could have done better. We could have done better. The Sowing, according to Fire and Blood, George R.R. Martin's book upon which House of the Dragon is based. This event is called The Sowing. This event where all these tryhards end up dying hard as they go to claim a dragon and instead just eat fire.
Yeah, I mean, this was the true like Squid Game of Game of Thrones, right? This is
red light, only red light. There's no green light.
Red sowing, green sowing.
Yeah, red sowing, green sowing. Yeah,
actually, so 2 people got a dragon out of it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're counting Adam, he gets in the previous episode.
He got in early.
He won, like he got to the thing first, but it would be like, if this was like Squid Game, it would be like of the 456 contestants, only 2 made it past the first trial.
Yeah.
That'd be a boring show. Wouldn't like
Season 2's coming back.
Season 2's coming back. Christmas time. Will you talk Squid Game with me?
We gotta figure out
Squid Game.
Yeah, we'll figure out what to do. What to do with the Squid Game?
We got. Should we do like the 12 days of Christmas, the 12 days of Squidmas? Is that a good idea?
Look, that's not the worst idea I've heard. That's pretty good. I don't know if they're gonna get it 12 episodes. I feel like.
Oh, we could do like 12 days of lead up, maybe like 12 days of Squidmas leading into a Christmas time Squid Game drop. That's neither here nor there. So
are you ready? Finale, baby.
We are so close. We are so close. We're in the... Well, listen, some people, have already seen the finale of House of the Dragon Season 2. Are you aware of this?
No, who saw it?
Anyone who went ahead and checked out these TikTok leaks, Rob, the House of the Dragon season 2.
What do you mean TikTok leaks?
All right. So
they leaked the episode on TikTok? How do they even do that? It's not even the right aspect ratio.
That's the biggest concern, is the aspect ratio.
They leaked an hour episode on TikTok?
No, I think only about a half hour.
Max
disavowed it.
Max leaked half an hour of the finale on TikTok.
No, they had nothing to do with it. It wasn't on them.
They got hacked.
Anonymous is Mr. Robot. Mr. Showbot even came in and same old story, Rob. If it's a House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones finale or penultimate episode, someone's leaking that thing.
They hacked it.
So I don't know what
hacked Tua.
They hacked Tua. Yeah, they split up that thing.
Now, did they leak the first half or the second half?
So I believe my understanding is like chunks, like not hey you guys like chunks, but like chunks of episode.
Oh, like all the good parts. There's like
sequences were uploaded to TikTok that like you could watch whole scenes, but I don't know if you would know what order they're in. I didn't check this stuff out.
Was it like Reservoir Dogs? Like they just edited it all out of order and you don't know what happened?
Is that how Reservoir Dog worked? I guess it was sort of how Reservoir Dogs worked. I haven't seen it in a while. It's very Pulp Fiction-y. No, I don't know, but it was, I guess, okay, so we're doing this live. We always love to do House of the Mermaid Dragon live, and well, look at that, Ben, in the chat says, they aired it early in Iceland by accident. People found it. People leaked it. It got leaked.
Well, it doesn't sound like, people found it and leaked it. It sounds like Iceland put it on TV.
This happens every year. Every Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon season, like, if I can, may I just for a moment talk about how, like, I forget which episodes got leaked, but like I think it was like season 4 or 5, the first like 4 episodes or something leaked online, and it corresponded with some the amount of screeners in the episodes of screeners that were sent to members of the media. And so around that time for Game of Thrones, for the rest of Game of Thrones, press outlets didn't get screeners in advance, and the press was blamed. And then immediately, every season from then on, it was always like HBO Spain, HBO Iceland, like these different, like they're leaking that way, and then they get uploaded to Reddit or TikTok or wherever. And it's like, just send the screeners out. We're not the problem here. House of the Dragon's been much better about this kind of thing. So not to besmirch the current regime, but yeah, it got TikTok.
Well, I'm going to stay off of TikTok so I don't get spoiled.
Be careful. Be careful out there. The TikTok is dark and full of spoilers. We will all know what happens in the House of the Dragon finale in just a few short days. Yeah. Rob and I, we are here a little later than we normally are here on House of the Mermaid Dragon. So I feel like
I went to the beach.
You went to the beach. Yeah. Did you find any dragons at the beach?
No dragons, no dragon eggs, but I did spend a lot of time talking with my wife about the House of the Dragon.
Did the beach make you old? Was it that beach?
No, not that beach. No,
not that beach. Was it the beach Leonardo DiCaprio
sun, it's been well documented the effects that it has on the skin. I mean, you spend enough time on a beach.
Yeah,
you're gonna look old.
We all got to get outside, though. So, like, what are you gonna do? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're gonna look old. You're gonna look old if you don't go outside. Also, just FYI.
Well, yeah, move to Iceland and get spoiled.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we're watching the old episodes too. Still.
Yeah. So, talk to me about where you.
I'm like meeting in the middle of like I'm finishing season 1 and ending season 2 at the same time.
So what did you and the flop talk about as you were looking forward towards finale time? You were talking about Westeros on the beach.
Sure, we could talk about all sorts of things, but I'm just very excited for where we're gonna go here. I feel like that we're like setting up I feel like that Team Black's got this. Like,
quick check. Where are you, Team Green, Team Black, right now?
I know Team Green is losing me. Like, I feel like I like that Team Green had like a lot of the like personalities. I like Aegon, but like Alicent flew the coop. Aegon is really a shell of himself.
Yeah. Maybe it was one of the bastards who flew the coop. Is the coop a good name for one of the dragons?
The coop? I mean, it's pretty good. It's a good dog name for sure.
If you had like a small dragon, you could call it Mini Coop.
But
like Mini
that's true. But Team Black has so many dragons now. They have more dragons than they know what to do with. I don't even know how they blow this. Because I feel like Vagar, sure, this is like when like Andre the Giant would fight like 8 guys. Like, give me the 8 guys.
Well, don't let me be the one who has to remind you that one time Andre the Giant went up against a single Dread Pirate Roberts and lost. So, all it takes is one clever Iocane immune member of the pirate community. Could the Crab Feeder take on?
Take on who? Vagar?
Yeah.
I don't think Crab Feeder could really take on.
You don't think the Crab Feeder could solo the Vagar?
Yeah, Daemon just chopped him in half. I like that the Crab Feeder. I don't know if I talked about this first time. Crab Feeder like lives in like a little hole in the rock, like a real crab.
Yeah, that's part of it. You know?
That's part of it.
I think so. Like that's all. Like you can't be a Crab Feeder unless you live there.
Yeah. Who are all the people that were like fought like the henchmen of the Crab Feeder?
Great question.
Who are the people that were like, you know what, this Crab Feeder guy, he's he's going places. We're with him. Yeah, we're following. We're gonna camp out here on this crabby island, and we're taking orders from the Crab Feeder.
Yeah, Crab Feeder's the guy.
Is he paying these people? Are they sell swords?
Absolutely not.
They never explained that. Anything.
You know what it might be is Crab Feeder's like, you can leave anytime, but if you do, it's gonna get eaten by some crabs. Like I feel like you're kind of like
it's such a cult of personality, the Crab Feeder. I guess you sort of like get in with him a little bit and you get in the room with him, like I'll follow that guy anywhere.
So Rhaenyra has a lot of dragons. She has a lot of people attend the event known as the Red.
I mean, how many dragons now? What, 5, 6 dragons?
Okay. So Adam of Hull gets a dragon at the end of the
Sea Smoke.
So Sea Smoke on the board.
By the way, that would be also, I think, another. That's maybe my rap name is Sea Smoke.
Whoa! All right, MC Sea Smoke. What do you got? Can you spit some fire right now?
Oh, I could spit fire. I mean, I can't, but if I could, I would be Sea Smoke.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it would go a little something like this, and then
no.
you would go like unce, unce, unce. No one unces on rap.
No,
get me out of here.
Letter C. Smoke.
Yes.
And I would spit fire.
Yeah. Rob C. Smoke. Alternate universe version of you is glittering out. Really just like
edible glittering. That's right.
Edible glittering.
All right. So they got there's one dragon.
One dragon. So Sea Smoke accomplished.
All right, then, Daemon, if he ever gets his head out of his ass, gets out of Harrenhal.
We're chronicling all of the various dragons that we've got. Yes, Daemon has one as well. But the 2 new ones that are on the board, I got to track down exactly. Chat, if you know which dragons were claimed, would love to know. I know Vermithor is in the
Vermithor.
Mix. Yeah. Vermithor. Yes. Okay. Got it. All right. Here's incredible. Ask and ye shall receive. Here is from the great Lauren Romano. Rhaenyra has Syrax. Daemon
doesn't get a lot of play. Syrax.
No. Well, that's Rhaenyra's whole complaint. Syrax too busy photocopying.
I pronounce it Syrax. I've heard it both ways. Yeah.
Syrax. Sounds like a Mortal Kombat character. Syrax
wins.
Syrax wins. Fatality. Caraxes is Daemon's dragon. Vermax, which I believe was the initial name for Max before they just settled on Max, is Jaehaerys's dragon. Bela's got Moon Dancer. Here's a marvelous night for a moon dancer. Adam's got Sea Smoke, Rob's hip hop alter ego. Now we've got 2 new ones on the board. One is Hugh.
And more incoming also, right?
We've got Hugh, who's got Vermithor.
We got a Veil Dragon too.
We got a Veil Dragon potential. Yeah, there's we've got a potential Veil Dragon here with Rhaena. I believe Rhaena It's very hard to keep tracks of the Rhaenyras, Rhaenys, Rhaena.
If
but
you're
one of
having a
them's
hard
gone.
time keeping up, imagine how I'm doing.
I know.
Yeah.
And then Ulf.
I thought it was Goat Eater. Is that the name of the dragon in the Vale?
That sounds correct. That sounds right to me. And then Ulf. Ulf is here with Silverwing.
Love the name Ulf. Did not know this guy's name until this week, and then I found out it was Ulf. I was like, that's perfect. He is the epitome of Ulf.
Yeah, he's got Silverwing. Better to
Sheep stealer. I'm sorry, it's sheep stealer, not goat eater.
Oh, goat eater versus sheep stealer. I think that they got the branding better with sheep stealer.
Yeah. Ulf's real name, I believe, is Gordon Shumway.
Is that the name? Is that his name? Ulf's name? Ulf's real name? How do you think Ulf is spelled?
ULF.
Yeah, they got it right. Just ULF.
What's it short for? Ulfred?
Ulfred. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He helps.
So how many dragons we got? And then there's only Vhagar and that's it.
Well, that's why Vhagar is
Helena has a dragon. I'm so scared of Helena's dragon.
He's rolling up, and then it's like in Stranger Things when Dustin's like, "Yeah, you better run. My friend's crazy. She's gonna kick your ass." And then Aemon on the dragon turns around. It's a huge moment for Team Black. That I
think this is it. This is it for Team Black. This might be the series finale on Sunday. I don't want to get too confident. I feel like it was like 8-on-1 now.
Well, how would you? Wait, is that why we're only 8 episodes instead of 10? It's like, well,
yeah, 8 dragons.
These dragons ate the final 2 episodes. Just got to do 8 episodes now.
They ate.
What do you think about Hugh?
They ate him up.
What do you think about Hugh and Ulf? Are you Hugh a Hugh man? Do you like Hugh?
It's fine.
Who had a better weekend? Hugh Jackman or Hugh the guy
Hugh
who
Jackman
stole
had a big
dragon?
weekend. Yeah.
Hugh Jackman or Hugh Dragon?
I think Hugh Jackman had the better weekend, but if they would have named Hugh's dragon Deadpool, that would have been a good
No spoilers. We're not supposed to talk about how Wolverine rides Deadpool in the movie.
Right, but this is Max. They're in the DC universe.
Yeah, they can't have that. They can't have that. Would be interesting to know how Batman did with a dragon. I guess he has a Tyrannosaurus Rex in his cave. You know that, yeah?
I didn't know that. Batman has a T-Rex in his cave.
Batman's got a T-Rex in his cave.
Yeah, when Alfred comes and brings him the stuff.
Yo, if Ulf was a butler, shittiest butler ever.
We're not a good butler.
Not a good butler. But
look.
Why does this dragon pick Ulf, by the way? Ulf is sharding himself, and this dragon's like, yeah, I like that. That's my guy. That's my guy. This guy shits. I like Ulf.
Yeah.
Ulf's my guy. And Ulf's literally peeing and soiling himself, and this dragon's like, oh, yeah. That's my pick. This is Silverwing who's like, oh, sweet. Oh, yeah.
According to my wife, that Silverwing is a very docile, friendly dragon. Has not seen a lot of combat, so Silverwing isn't looking for a rider who's some crazy knight, looking for a playful scamp to go around and ride around the countryside with.
Silverwing is here for vibes. Silverwing's a vibes dragon, and he sees in Ulf, Ulf's gonna go to the parties.
Yeah,
I don't feel like Ulf's getting VIP tickets to anything though. If Silverwing is looking for a cool wingman, I feel I don't know.
A silver wingman. I thought that Ulf seemed to be kind of a VIP among the small folk. I think he was kind of medium folk.
But if Silverwing wants Ulf to be opening doors, I
thought he was big fish in a small pond. Ulf.
Yeah, big fish in a.
He was sitting at the cool small folk table. I thought at some of the taverns.
Yeah. Would we like an Ulf and Silverwing spinoff? Do you want to see more? Should Ulf now rise to prominence on the show now that he has claimed Silverwing? Is this a character combo
Ulf
you're into?
Sober enough to drive a dragon?
Unclear if there are laws about this. None that I'm aware of. Anything about do not operate heavy dragon machinery. while under the influence. So I don't know the answer to that question. I loved Hugh just screaming, just like, oh, come on, at Vermithor. Like, what do you like? It's so great that he's got the dragon called Verma Thor, because I feel like Hugh's got big Thor vibes.
He
like,
does,
right? Like he like old Hugh Hammer here. He's doing it. He's out here. Hugh's getting the second biggest dragon in the land.
He's Hugh Hammer, and he rides Vermithor.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So like it really
so there's a lot of synergy with the MCU.
We don't know if he's Hugh Hammered. That is unclear to us at this point.
Should House of the Dragon borrow from the MCU, and should they do some kind of like a stunt casting where could they bring back their own version of like could they bring in Sean Bean to play a different character in House of the Dragon? In the same way that you could bring in Robert Downey Jr. now to play Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Could you bring in a beloved, could you bring in Kit Harington to play a different character?
You know who I bet is praying that you can? Kit Harington. That guy is like, I can only do this one thing. Please let me back.
Yeah.
Although Kit Harington
and it's it's the multiverse. It's
also a Marvel star, sort of, kind of, not really. Kit Harington's going to be on season 3 of HBO's Industry, which
I saw that.
May be covered here on We Know Scripted TV. So catch up on Industry if you want to stick around and see. It's an HBO Sunday night show. I think we got to talk about it here on We Know Scripted. So some plans maybe in the works.
It sounds good to me.
But yeah, who would Sean Bean play? Are you saying this because Sean Bean kind of feels like he could have in another world slotted into Hugh?
We never did anything with it. Yeah, I kind of feel like they're just, I don't know, there's got to be more characters, right? From what I know.
What? Dean Charles Chapman, the late great King Tommen, was also a little baby Lannister
or
cousin.
Bring back Joffrey as a grown up.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even recognize him.
Jack Gleason. Yeah,
Jack Gleason. I know he retired, but maybe
I think he's back. He came back. Yeah, he's back. He's got a little stash now. Can you imagine? The only thing that would have made Joffrey shittier was a mustache.
Yeah,
can you imagine?
Do it. Come on.
Yeah. Put a mustache on Joffrey or bring him back. Okay.
Yeah.
This would be fun to who from especially because there's relatives and stuff, right? So you could say that Sean Bean is an ancestral Stark.
Yeah, we could Back to the Future this thing where it's that somebody one of the old Game of Thrones actors plays their relative.
Yeah. Could be great. Would love that. Do you Jacaerys, this was your idea, man. And Jacaerys is out here being Mom, I don't like it that we're doing dragon seeds.
Yeah, the problem is, I think that can I call him the B word?
I think, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of good for him back when people used to think, oh, look, this guy, say what you want, you could talk about the rumors, but this guy rides a dragon. And if he's riding a dragon, there's no way that he's a bastard. But then when I go back, yeah. But when I go back and I'm watching the old episodes, people are like, okay, but people feel like, okay, his dad was Laenor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm buying that.
Did you know, or do you recall, didn't he have a bowl cut in season 1, Jacaerys?
I've been watching the.
You're not there.
We're not there yet.
Yeah,
we're not there yet. We're still in the millie. We just watched the wedding last.
Got it. Well, keep an eye out for that bowl cut, because I think even through the finale, he's got that bowl cut, and now he's got that Jon Snow hair.
Yeah. Here was my best question of the week. Okay, Corlys. Okay. It's been established. Can't ride a dragon, okay? No way. We can't put Corlys on a dragon.
He's not going to do it. No.
He doesn't have that dog in him. No dragon for Corlys. But Corlys' bastards, they can ride. Because sure, Corlys' son, Laenor, he can ride a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Laenor's mom was Rhaenys.
Yes.
But who are these guys' mom? That They could ride a dragon?
They've got some Valyrian in them. And I don't know what that says about who their mother could possibly be. But I do think that it's funny to me that that Corlys like goes up to the one who claimed a dragon, the one who like wants him to be his father, right? Like,
yeah,
Adam's like, "Daddy, up," and like Corlys just comes to him and goes, "No," and all he says is, "Good job." That's it. And then he immediately goes to Alan. He goes, "Alan, my fave, my guy. You know we're picking up dragons. You could do it if you wanted." And then Alan's like, "I just want to ride ships. I just want to do ships. I just want to do ship stuff."
Yeah.
And then like also the one the one who loves him like doesn't really want to have anything to do with him.
So that did Corlys cheat on Rhaenys with one of her relatives?
With one of her relatives.
Corlys.
I'm unsure.
Well, you know? You
don't
know about this?
I'm not saying that I do. I'm genuinely not. I just felt like I haven't done this yet in the episode.
Okay. Yeah.
Or am I lying?
I don't know.
I don't know either. You know what? We got Script Keeper this week. We got him back. We got Viserys in full Script Keeper mode.
Yeah, I forgot about the like Phantom of the Opera mask, the crab feeder mask. He got it from the crab feeder, and he was back.
She sang to me. Wow, in dreams he came, which is what's happening to Daemon right now. That Phantom of the Harrenhal. He's here, inside your mind.
Daemon, have you had enough dreams lately?
I think that everyone else has had enough of Daemon's dreams.
Yeah.
All through season 2, Daemon's been asleep. You know, like a sleepy season for Daemon Targaryen, quite literally. He's just sleepwalking his way through. This little new lord, this little new guy here. What are we thinking about this guy? Because I was really excited to talk to you about what's his name. Well, he's a Tully, yeah.
Oscar.
Oscar. So there's a Grover, there's an Oscar. Like I believe it.
Grover's dead.
Grover's dead. There's a Kermit in the mix. And so here's Oscar.
And also with the Sesame Street. Was George R. R. Martin going for that? There's also a Telly on Sesame Street.
Okay.
Are all the Tullys Sesame Street? Because there's a Telly.
That's interesting. I don't know. Never thought about that. Never thought about that before.
Is there ever any pushback on George R. R. Martin where that they're like, all right, I'm naming this whole family after Sesame Street characters? Be like, that's George.
Yeah,
can you be serious for a minute?
He's done some Jets and Giants stuff too, and people don't like that either.
One the Giants. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's cute. If you're reading, like, if George R. R. Martin ever finishes the Winds of Winter, is that the next one?
Yes.
It's like there were the family had 6 children. They were Ross, Chandler, Joey, Phoebe, Monica with a K, and Rachel with 4 L's.
Yeah. He writes about a lot of Phoebe buffets, you know, prolific in the food descriptions. My vote, Rob, name every character after Sesame Street, Friends, Batman, anything, like whatever it takes to just plow through the words. Keep typing, keep going.
Yeah.
That
Don't
character's name is
with any names.
That character's name is Jake. You know, like
this dragon's name is Screech.
Screech. Of House Diamond. Go. Just like keep typing, George. Keep typing. Name him out. That House David, Larry of House David. With his orderly, his Maester Jeff. Just keep going. Just keep typing.
Then
don't stop typing.
Sir Kramer and Sir Newman come in.
They just walk right in through the door. Name them after any character that already exists.
Yeah.
Just
don't waste
writing.
time naming characters.
Don't
Just
stop.
go.
Don't stop. Hit the board. Keep going. Just playing like the keys nonstop. Just do it. So exhausting.
Yeah.
It's very tiring. But back to the subject.
Yeah.
Oscar Tully.
Oscar, yeah. Oh, he
Little
really
king.
got.
Little
he
king.
really got. What a short king. We love him.
I think the best kid in the Game of Thrones universe.
No, there's.
Since like Arya Stark, like the core Starks. Who's better? Who's better?
What about who was like the little girl in the north?
Okay, Lyanna Mormont. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Not as good as Lyanna Mormont, but he's like he's out here being like
best boy.
Yeah, best boy. This is what it's in the credits for. It's there for guys like this.
Yeah, we like Tommen.
This kid blows Tommen out of the water.
Yeah, Tommen was
Oscar would have pushed Tommen. You know, like Oscar marches right up to Daemon Targaryen and just like goes like eyes to chin and says, "What are you gonna do about it, bitch?" You know, like he's just like ready to go.
Like, I think you need to kill your friend now.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. Maybe you got to do exactly what I say if you want all these lords and ladies on your and Oscar is a young man who knows his worth. This is like very like Gen Z. Like this is the most Gen Z character I think in the Game of Thrones franchise, where he's like, I'm not gonna like I don't have to do this the old way. Like I don't just like I'm working remote. I'm doing what I want. Like I'm not working on your terms. Absolutely not. No chance. It's like, but when I was I don't care what you did when you were my age. This is what I'm doing now. I'm in charge of the Riverlands. What are you gonna do?
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, do we need so many ground troops? Like I feel like that we saw back when Vhagar showed up, like ground troops were useless.
Yeah.
Well, what do we need all the people on the ground for? We got 8 dragons right now.
Should we just be doing dragons? Is that what you're saying? Like we don't need ground troops at all?
We need to hold listen, like let me explain how this is gonna work. We got 8 dragons, okay?
I heard.
Once Vhagar falls, no, all of these like cowards are going to, they're all craven. They're going to flip instantly to Team Black. You're telling me they swore allegiance to Team Green and then Vhagar goes down, they're going to keep fighting?
Yeah. I do think like maybe like we got to like pile on Vhagar is not a bad strat.
We kill Vhagar, we win the war, baby.
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying we now. I guess I'm Team Black. But I mean, that Team Green is a one-man team. It's everybody versus Aemond and Vhagar.
Yeah.
One man, one dragon. That's all they got.
Yeah.
They have nothing else.
Do you at all feel like a turncloak for turning back on Team Green so quickly? It happened fast. You were saying you were trending Team Black at the start of this episode, and you just said we. Yeah.
I just they lost all the personality that they had.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard out here. All right, what else from this episode? Do you want to do any forward-looking stuff? I mean, like good Laris stuff. Like they'll hate you.
Yeah,
they'll laugh at you behind your back. And Laris is just like being sort of
they're
like
gonna
bitched
laugh
around.
at you.
Yeah. No.
Yes. Okay. Can Aegon make a comeback?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he made a lot of progress. Seems like that they've got him up. They're trying to like get him to walk, but I don't know.
Is he progressing fast enough? Hard to say. I don't know.
Hard to say. Will Allison come home ever?
Can I ask? Like, I kept thinking, like, what's the story here with Allison? She's like, I have to go. You have to let me out. And she just went for a swim. Is that it?
She has nothing going on.
She just went for a swim. That's really all I got from Allison.
Yeah. So, I don't know really what she can do. Like, I just feel like the whole show could end on Sunday. They take out Vhagar. I mean,
this is a good question. Like, okay, so let's say
what's left to do.
Let's say they took out Vhagar on Sunday night. Let's say that happened. What does the rest of the show look like?
So I don't know, maybe there's like some sort of like power struggle here with like then like some of the stuff that Jay's brought up, but then like what happens like post Rhaenyra, all these other guys are like, is Ulf like, you know what, I've got a claim to the Iron Throne now, I've got a dragon. So maybe could there be some kind of like Team Black civil war that happens? I guess potentially.
Yeah.
But it seems like that the just to stick with the MCU theming, like the Avengers are uniting to take on Aemond, and what happens next?
Is Aemond Game of Thrones Thanos?
He might be right now because I think that the threat of Vhagar is uniting all these people to come together. Okay, we got all these dragon riders. Let's go. And they're gonna come back at him, and the thing about that Aemond, he's completely united. The people thought it was looking pretty bad for the Black and Red Party, and they looked like they were in dire straits. But like Aemond is like he was riding high, but then now that
he put them together,
they're all on the singing from the same song sheet now.
Yeah, and they're all hyped, and like nothing's going to stop that momentum now.
It's going to be hard to stop that momentum.
Yeah, hard to stop that momentum now. I am being notified in the chat, by the way, that the Allison scene, according to like the inside the episode, was Allison was going there to die. That she wanted to die. That's why she went into the pool. I did not watch it. That's horrible. I think. I think. Listen, I have news for you. House of the Dragon isn't ending on Sunday.
It's not ending. Okay. All right. But I think it could, because my wife also told me that, like they talk about the book, Fire and Blood. She was like, do you know that this is only like one chapter in that book? Wait, what?
Yeah. So like
this is like a section of a book?
Yeah. So
oh my God. That's why I'm like, how much more do they have? This is like, we're on 2 seasons of a section?
In fairness, there's multiple chapters in this section.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're within the chapters, So like, we're not out of the section, but is House of the Dragon just adapting a portion of Fire and Blood? Yeah.
Can you tell me, like, how... And again, like you could do like take from adapted stuff. Like I feel like The Leftovers was like a short. It was a
book. It was season 1. Yeah, season 1 does the whole book, and then they do different seasons.
So how far into the section are we? Are we like 85% of the way there?
I really don't want to spoil anything. I really don't. Genuinely. So what I'll say, and I hope that this isn't a spoiler, is that like my honest answer to that question, Rob, is I really don't know. Because like where this story began makes sense given the story that's being told. Where this story could end, there are a few different like obvious stopping places, but like important stuff like happens past like a first stopping place, like you would want to see it. So like how they're going to condense that, where they're going to stop, I actually really don't know. I'm really curious, very curious. So like in the book, I think that like for Fire and Blood, which is only half of the Targaryen history, by the way, there's supposed to be a second Fire and Blood book.
Sure, there is. We'll be seeing it real soon. I'm sure.
They're supposed to be. We like begin House of the Dragon, I would say like halfway into Fire and Blood book 1 of maybe 2. And like I imagine that all of House of the Dragon is contained within that first book. It's just where does it stop? Where does it end?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Any other predictions for Hot D heading into Sunday?
Well, I guess my question for you for episode 8 is, do we get the battle of every 8-on-1 taking on Vhagar, or do these bastards have the cojones to push it to next season?
The catch ones.
Do they end season 2 on all right, let's fly. We're going everybody. Rhaenyra on
boats
3.
across
1,
the
2,
narrow
3.
sea. Yeah. I would be very disappointed if we didn't get some fighting in the finale, especially because we had a really great battle here earlier in the season, but narratively we've been hyping up the tension in the Riverlands.
2026, the dragon fight you've been waiting for.
It would be
only on Max.
It would be
Don't
very
unsubscribe.
It would be on Vermax. It would be really annoying if the Harrenhal stuff and the Riverlands, where that has been a whole piece of tension. We know the Greens want Harrenhal. If that didn't come to some kind of head, that would be very annoying. If the fact that the Blacks now have additional dragon power, if that didn't bear some fruit, that would be annoying. But I really don't know. I mean, again, it's how are they pacing this stuff out? Those things for sure, if we're going straight by the book, at some point will come to a head. Narratively, it makes sense based on everything we've seen so far. Will come to a head in the finale. God, I really hope so. Really hope so. It's going to be a longer episode. I don't know how long exactly offhand.
Yeah.
But
because I really do feel while this was a shorter episode order than season 1, season 1 in scope, really covered a lot. A lot of things happened in season 1. Where season 2, I don't feel that there's been a ton of we've talked about all right, Daemon's been at Harrenhal the whole season.
Right.
It feels seemingly we've been stuck on this one question of okay, how do we find dragon riders this whole season? And so I feel we had certainly the big episode, the big dragon fight in episode 4.
Yes.
But I just feel that we've been a little bit while it's been extremely well executed and well done, I just feel over the course of season 2, has that much actually happened?
Do you know what's funny? If you go back and read the receipts of the vast majority of people's opinions on season 1, it's that things are happening too fast, and we're going through large swaths of story and history, and it's hard to track from episode to episode. And so now in this this season's pace is much closer to Coca-Cola Classic Game of Thrones. In Game of Thrones, literally Arya is stuck in Harrenhal for all of season 2. So the parallel is right there.
Yeah.
And so what's the Goldilocks solution? What's the thing that pleases everybody? To be honest, I really liked the pace of season 1. I thought it felt operatic, it felt epic in scope. And I'm the season's not done yet, but I don't know if this is a hot take. I greatly preferred season 1 to season 2 so far. I just think that the scope of season 1 told such a big romantic story that for me, it's been kind of hard to shrink that down into sort of these episode by episode by episode, just incremental progress when we were making such giant leaps back in season 1. And it's really just what do you prefer, I guess. But but it's the funny thing to me is that people didn't like it when they were too fast in season 1. People aren't loving it that it's so slow in season 2. But is it actually that slow, or is it just what Game of Thrones was? So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting. But we'll see what happens when we get to the finale Sunday night, the last episode of House of the Dragon season 2. And then, as Kelly mentions in the chat, coming in 2026, 6 new episodes of House of the Dragon season 3. God, that would be annoying. If House of the Dragon comes back for a 3rd season, Robin, it's only 4 episodes. No, thank you.
No, thank you. You're not gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch it. It's literally my job. I have to.
Okay. Yeah. How long is the episode? I know that it's at least half an hour from what they leaked on TikTok.
So at least 30 minutes long is the episode. And I think it's certainly over an hour. But I don't think what was the longest episode of Game of Thrones was an hour and a half.
Like they had down the stretch, sure.
like almost like movie-sized episodes. The great Jess Sterling is notifying us behind the scenes that it is 73 minutes is the length of the finale.
Okay,
so
that's a lot.
Yeah. So carve out 73 minutes on your Sunday night, folks.
I gotta watch Big Brother.
Gotta watch Big Brother too. So you got a lot to do.
Yes.
All right, Rob. Rob, can we segue into talking about my personal favorite restaurant, Applebee's?
Yes.
Survivor 46 time here on the House of the Mermaid Dragon. The Mermaid Dragon. I don't even know, guys. Neil Patrick Harris quit that show so many years ago. Because I'm a bro, I'll revisit that show with Rob and Josh and Throne. All right. House of the Mermaid Dragon segues into its Survivor 46 section. And this was a string of episodes in which a bunch of people get this was a red sewing in its own right, Rob. A red sew idling. The red idling? The red not
idling.
I mean, it's like idling as in like when your car does that, less so than when you play the thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Shouldn't you get an idol now in Survivor? You play it like immediately, yeah? Like, shouldn't that be the thing? Don't you do that? Isn't that how you should do this now? Because they're like they're just gonna throw more stuff at you all the time.
You have missed, a lot of the meta of the 40s, but
Catch me up.
Not to spoil too much for you,
Okay.
but in Survivor 42 in particular, and you know some of these winners. I could spoil.
I know who all the winners are. Yeah.
Okay. So Marianne at the final tribal council, it was a rather big moment of she didn't play an idol, and it was sort of like at the final tribal council, she was able to surprise people and say, "Aha." And I also had this, the hidden immunity idol. You didn't even know I had it. That's my big move.
Did the audience know she had it?
The audience knew she had it, but the jury was like, "Oh my God, mind blown." Yeah. And so I think that
can I ask, would that have been a good like storytelling choice if like they know who the winner is, especially now, like they reveal it on the island. Like if they had then at the final tribal council, then they like flash back to earlier in the season when she has the idol. Should we be doing stuff like that? That kind of sounds fun.
I don't know. All
right, never mind. Anyway, you were cooking and I interrupted.
I'd rather know all the information. But that being said, so I think that there's like a little bit of like the meta of some people are feeling like, hey, I am going to, or they're also like, I'm saving it until the last possible time that I need it. So I think for the 4 people that didn't play their idols, I think each of them had sort of different reasons.
This is bad strategy if what you're trying to do is like emulate what Marianne did. Because if we're applying Gilligan's Island rules to it, like you could be, there's like multiple abilities to be the captain and the skipper and the doctor, but there's only one Marianne. So like, don't just do what Marianne did and sit on the idol and think that this is going to be the thing. Play the thing. Play the idol. Just play the idols. Like Hunter last week, what did you do? Why didn't you play the idol? And then all 3 of these people, like Tiff, I think they did a great job snowing Tiff. To the point that like they even snow Kenzie, who initially was like trying to snow Tiff, and then she gets like that's great. But I feel like Venus, Q especially, like, what are you doing? Like, you gotta know. I mean, I guess like this goes back to what we used to talk about in the evolution of strategy. It would actually usually be me being like, this is who this person is, and you can't expect them not to play like who they are. And so like I think like Q demonstrated enough that this would probably be like he just wouldn't play that well or right. But gosh, I don't usually like, I couldn't envision myself getting frustrated with like the play style of Survivor anymore. And I was like really frustrated watching these people just go home with idols in their pants. It awoken something in me, which was good. Ultimately, I think like a net positive, but gosh, woof, that's tough.
Yep. Players are playing hard too.
Yeah, they are.
Talk to me about Liz didn't get taken to Applebee's. Of course, a great moment in the season where she said famously, "I'm pissed."
Yeah.
What the heck, you hoe bags?
What the heck, you hoe bags is pretty good. What do we think it was a Sandy Bergen shout out or no?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that she was in the state of giving shout outs.
Raw, authentic rage.
Visceral
Targaryen. Yeah. Iconic behavior. Just incredible. And like the way when it segues into like, and you blew up my whole game, and like all of that is just like, what an unbelievably awkward thing to have had to live through.
Josh, do you know this about Liz Wilcox? That Liz, and this wasn't in the show.
Yes.
Actually, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't in the show. She talked about how she is a millionaire.
Yes.
She's a millionaire and she's very wealthy.
Yes, I've heard this.
And she told people this all through the season.
Yes.
After the season,
yes,
she then came out to say that was a lie.
Lie. It was a ruse.
She's not actually the millionaire or his wife.
Yeah. What was she instead?
Just a hardworking lady.
Hardworking lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hardworking lady that eats at Applebee's every week.
And she was gonna like at Final Tribal or something. She was gonna throw this out there.
You all thought I was a millionaire, and I'm not yet.
Not yet. That wouldn't have worked at all. That wouldn't have worked at all. No. She gets there. I think everyone she says that, and I think everyone's just like, that's so annoying. Mm-hmm. I think people would be annoyed about that. I don't think people would like that. I don't think so. I don't think if you were just like, I'm multimillionaire and then ta-da, I'm not, then I feel like people would be mad about that. Mm-hmm. But she's furious about this. What was it, like bacon Swiss mushroom burger?
I believe it was the Bourbon Street burger.
But it's a big mushroom heavy burger. It's the smothered mushroom burger, and no one ate it. And she's really mad that no one ate it. Meanwhile, I'm over here I'm really glad these people didn't eat that one, because I feel like the smell on the other side of the Applebee's reward would have been significant. The distress. I feel like we'd be veering into Joe Del Campo territory.
Oh, you don't think that they should eat?
I don't think that
Applebee's?
they should. I don't think that you should be eating.
What in particular? Just the burger, the mushroom?
I think you shouldn't eat anything that's called a big smothered burger when you haven't eaten anything normal for 20 days. Feels like that is going from 6 to midnight if you went around the clock several times to get to midnight. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, honestly, a lot of that Applebee's food struck me as instant tummy trouble. Instantly,
it can happen. Yeah, you can. You can overindulge. You got to go slow.
Yeah. What was the spider bowl? What was their scorpion bowl thing called? The blizzard, whatever it was. I feel like you take one sip of that too, and you're done.
Shark bowl.
Yeah, shark bowl.
Yeah.
I'm doxing myself as I don't really go to Applebee's all that often.
Yeah.
Are you an Applebee's guy?
So I actually, after this episode aired, I said, you know what, that'll be fun. That'll be nice. Let's go to, you know what, family? Let's go to
Applebee's.
And I know that, okay, so, you.
What did you order? What did you get?
Well, let me finish. Okay.
Yeah.
I know, you and Fox are probably gonna go and get to go to some more of the
She's
finer,
a chef,
fine
dining.
I
am not above an Applebee's visit.
But with the kids, to go to a nice restaurant, it's diminishing returns.
Sure.
A lot of the fast casual, that's a good.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy, and so I said, we've never been to Applebee's. Let's go to Applebee's. Applebee's be closed.
Oh,
Eating good in a different neighborhood now.
Wait, it was shut down.
They had it like a red wedding, a red sewing for the Applebee's right around this episode. They closed like 35 locations, like right around this episode.
Like as like a big like nationwide slash.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these chain restaurants are dying.
Man, you know what? I'm really sad to hear that because again, like by the way, my affection for TV version of Jeff Probst has just like grown with every single week of watching Survivor 46. My guy has never sold anything harder than he sold Applebee's. Like the way he's just like out there wheeling and dealing for like the smothered burger.
He gives it his all. Yeah.
He gives it his all. Like Jeff Probst does not have to work as hard as Jeff Probst does. Like he does not have to just be out here just like totally sucking Applebee's kneecaps. And he's fitting full kneecaps in his mouth for a closing business. That's disappointing. That's tough.
I think
that's hard because what I was hoping to hear,
yeah.
What I was hoping to hear was that why they did they like sell the last of it to Survivor and they couldn't hold on?
I think I might say that this is probably, if I had to guess, and I don't know what happened on Survivor 47 or Survivor 48. If I had to guess, I would suspect this is the last call for Applebee's on Survivor.
Man.
I think this is like the last throes of the Applebee's dynasty.
Well, we could get back to the Outback or something like that. I mean, there's still plenty of fast
like the
casual
Targaryens,
fishing
a dying dynasty.
Yeah. There's people in the chat who said that they had gotten to Applebee's. A lot of meh reviews is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, not all Applebee's have closed, but they closed. I don't know how many like nationwide locations that they had, but they closed a large chunk of them. A lot of these chain restaurants are going down. Texas Roadhouse is doing very well.
I love a Texas Roadhouse. I haven't been to a Texas Roadhouse in like almost 2 decades.
The one near me, it's like you go there and it's like, it'll be 2 hours to sit.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because they're too busy just sweeping the nuts off the floor?
I don't know if they do that anymore. I think that
they don't put
like
nuts on the floor.
Like post-COVID, I think they just give you like a little.
Oh, that might make sense.
They give you peanuts. I don't know what they do with peanut allergies, but they give you peanuts. But they give you a bag. I used to go back in the day.
Unsafe for people with peanut allergies.
Yeah, there would just be like a barrel full of peanuts, and you threw them on the floor. Now they give you it's a little bit more. They give you like a bag of peanuts, and you're supposed to put them in like a receptacle. They give you like a little thing.
Short of like being in a peanut processing factory or like living inside of like a peanut plant tree.
Mm-hmm.
How do peanuts get made?
How do peanuts get made?
Nowhere worse than being in a Texas Roadhouse is my vote for people with peanut allergies. So they could get Texas Roadhouse. They could get like CPK, like some of these fast casual
check
places.
this out. That they're saying that that the parent company is exploring joint Applebee's IHOP branded restaurants.
Apple Hop?
Yeah, it's an IHOP in the morning and then Applebee's at night.
Do we like IBs? Or that's what it gives you if you overindulge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think we should call it that.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that seems like a decent idea is to try and join those houses. That's like that's very Game of Thrones is like, I have a son, you have a daughter. We'll marry our houses. Yeah, I think I have.
That was the episode I just watched.
Yeah, and Applebee's. Okay, so the Applebee's moment was great. And then the rest of the episode. So this is what you can do now that you have 90 minutes or you have like 60 actual minutes of playtime that like you can spend 2 segments on Liz talking about Applebee's. And then really the Liz Applebee's arc kind of like really motivates, I think, a lot of the rest of the action of these next couple of episodes because this is great. Like she's like, I hate Q so much. I just hate that guy. Like Q, can you hear me? I hate you. Like she has no care in the world if Q can hear her at all. The Q score down for Liz and Q, and it all goes back to the Applebee's.
Yep. Really set a lot of pieces in motion. So then also coming out of that, then we had the big Applebee's reward debacle. Then Maria wins the next reward. She wins immunity and reward. And she has to pick people to go for pizza. And she picks Ben first.
Yep.
And then she says, okay, well,
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. Okay.
And according to Jeffrey, like no one has ever taken longer in like deciding a thing like this.
Venus takes herself out of it, and it's between Liz.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. Maria takes Venus out of it.
Oh, she's like, I'm not going to beg for it. She says something
Charlie takes himself out of it, and then like Venus. I think like Q says, "I would love it, but you shouldn't feel bad." Venus says, "I would love it, but you should own your choice." And Liz says, "Like I'm not above begging. Please take me to the pizza party." And then Maria's just like, "Venus, you're out," but Q and Liz rock paper scissors for it. And then Liz says to Q, "Please throw rock." And he doesn't at all. He just goes hard on RPS and he wins. And so like Liz jilted again. Maria played this one. That was punk moves by Maria, I think, in these 2 episodes. I think like stock falling for Maria with me. Especially knowing a little bit about the end, this like last episode of this.
That's next time.
Yeah. That was hard. What
a podcast we're gonna have next week. Yeah,
I'm excited. But yeah, so we got to wait until like Charlie gives her the golden ticket, ironically enough, to the Chinese takeout special.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Venus. What was your final thoughts on Venus?
I'm very, very, very nervous to talk about Venus.
Why? What do you?
Here's my
what are you nervous
thought.
about? I think this is a safe space.
I think so too. I do think so. I think that there are some people who would,
after the season.
But also I think there's some people who would love to know that you and I were talking about Survivor who just don't know. Because it's like into a Game of Thrones podcast. So like this is. I thought she was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was fine. She's funny enough. Like she's interesting enough. She like bothered a couple people enough, But like, I don't know that she was like so like I kept hearing like Venus.
See, I think so. And
so
that's
my thought, my thought is that Venus, social media superstar. That Venus's Survivor story is the social media stuff that I did get exposed to, which was the reason why I was curious about Survivor 46 in the first place. But like in season, on show, I don't really think that like.
No,
there's a lot of survivors who played. There's a lot of people who've played Survivor before, and like there's a new returning player season cooking up for 50. And if like Venus made it, I guess like Danielle DiLorenzo made it once, we lifted Boston Rob, from like when Sean Rector was right there. Like weirder choices have been made. That being said, I wouldn't vote her back. And is that am I in trouble for this?
No, because I think here's what the disconnect.
She already hates New York.
She hates the Empire State Building.
I'm in trouble.
She said it was low-key ugly. I don't think she hates it. But in terms of Venus, somebody who watched the TV show versus somebody that might have been on social media, I think that Venus had an edit that she was not happy about. And I think she was not afraid to push back on the narrative of what the show was presenting.
Which is great.
And I feel like that we have not seen many people in the real time push back against the show as it airs and
with fan support and success, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
But like to take to Twitter, like I don't remember many folks in the past who have gone out and basically said like, that's not what happened. Or they're not, they're doing me dirty, like in the real time. And I think that people really, especially the people on social media, and not universally, I'm sure that she got a lot of hate also, but I think a lot of people felt like, yes, we love that you are, speaking truth to power, Venus.
Sure, totally, yeah.
And that's something that we really want to get behind. And they liked what she was saying. People liked a lot of the causes that she was a champion of. And so I think she was a natural darling for people to follow on social media as somebody who was outspoken, a young person, and somebody who is able to say that these people did not treat me with the respect that I was deserved. And I think that's like, and the show doesn't really capture that, but that's, I think, why she became so beloved on social media as opposed to as somebody who's just watching the show.
That's what I was going to say, is that like that all tracks and that all makes sense. And this is, one of the very first times in my life, if not the first time in my life, that I've, there were a couple of periods where like I stopped watching Survivor for like no more than 2 seasons at a time ever. And now at this point, like I've been out almost as long as I was like part of like the press corps. It's like getting really close to being like I've been out just as long. And so like I've missed many seasons live. So there's like a big chunk of Survivor that I just have no like live coexistence with. And so now I can finally like sort of like consume Survivor, sort of like what it's like for people when they just pick up a box set back in the day. And like in that vacuum, she was there. And that's basically my review of Venus.
Yeah.
She was there. So that stuff doesn't really play on the show, I guess. And so then she's right to be not happy about that. A lot of people have been very unhappy with the way they've been portrayed on the show before. And like back then they certainly like, only had 45 minutes. Now you got an extra 15 minutes and some people still don't like what they're getting. So I don't know. Like if she shows back up in the future, I'm not going to like throw a big stink about it. Sounds to me like if she was like pushing back on the narrative and stuff, her invitation might get lost in the mail.
That's certainly possible. Yeah.
Would be my thought, because like, I don't know that she contributed like such an astonishing amount on screen to like vote her back in over a couple of other people, especially if like, and I'm now speaking like from like the production point of view, like if she were like a thorn in their side, like I don't know why they would like.
Yeah, I don't know if in the real time, but I think I have to think that they probably were not thrilled with
right.
her
That's
on
what I'm
social
saying,
media.
and
that's why I'd love to see her
makes an impact.
Go to the traders or
totally.
go like there's other places that you can
somewhere
have her.
And if she's like somewhere where she could be like portrayed as her more like I guess authentic self.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And then ultimately Q went out. Any final thoughts on Q?
Q was fun. Q was fun. I get it with Q. I think what I am experiencing is like watching this without like reading stuff about the show or listening to all the podcasts about the show too, because I simply just don't have the time if I'm doing this in such a rush. Like, man, Rob Cesternino, you do the world a service because I really think that like having a character like Q in the weekly real time with the vast apparatus of a podcast network like RHAP at your disposal, so many different takes on the show, so many different takes on the episode daily throughout the weeks of the season, and sound drops at your disposal really, really, really helps to boost up the memeability of certain people. And so like the big mistake thing was like a flash in the pan for me, whereas for all of you, I mean, you got to have the big mistake like always at the ready. If you don't always have it ready, it's a big mistake. And so like I liked Q. I didn't like go bananas for Q, but I could imagine that if I was engaging this on the weekly level, that Q would have been one of those people who really popped for me. For sure. 100%.
Yeah. Q, I just think was such a breath of fresh air in terms of a character, where he came into this new era where I feel like that in the 40s, so many people come into the game playing the same way. And Q played in a very brash manner, made up his own rules as he went along, was not afraid to have conflict with people when he saw fit. He had a playful energy about him. The
player that I think of the most when I think about Q is like Abby Maria. And like the way that I used to say, like, I love a grenade, like throw a grenade into the mix. And like Abby Maria, you just could not, but you could never really read where things were going to go with Abby. And I think Q is very similar in that way of like, you cannot predict which way this guy is going to go. And that's very electric and dynamic for a show that can get, kind of flat sometimes towards this portion of the game, certainly.
Very fun. He's very fun. Okay. And then so you have one show left to watch, the finale.
The finale. Next week
and
on House of the
show.
Mermaid Dragon. A tale of two finales. There's no reunion show for House of the Dragon, I don't think, unfortunately.
Not yet. Yeah, but they do after the episode.
Yeah. Do we count that as the reunion?
Yeah.
Every week
Isn't it interesting that they have that? I feel like that, I guess a lot of these HBO shows have it where it's sort of like isn't it interesting? Because there's not like that, that doesn't exist in any other space outside of HBO, to my knowledge.
Not
you
in the
watch
same way,
the show and then the creators tell you, like, in case you didn't get that in the show, this is what we're going for. So then you know. And they'll be like, yes.
Very
I think it does a lot of work for like the narrative.
Especially on a show like Game of Thrones where there's Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, and Rhaena, like having someone like hold your hand through.
But they like tell you like it's like so different from like the David Chase days of The Sopranos of like he
didn't want to say shit. Yeah.
It's like, no, actually, this is what you're supposed like. And the camera is moving around so much in this episode because we're trying to create confusion for the that's what that's to represent. Like, okay,
yeah, I love it. I think it's great. So we'll get an after the episode, and then we'll get an after the episode on Survivor as well. I only saw the 41 reunion, so I don't know. Like, do we like these as a community or not really?
No.
Okay. All right.
Don't like it.
Okay. We'll talk about that next
flat.
time. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Survivor 46 finale. Talk about the House of the Dragon season 2 finale. Make sure you don't miss it when you subscribe. robhasawebsite.com/subscribe for everything that's happening on RHAP. For the We Know Scripted TV stuff, you want to go to robhasawebsite.com/scripted. And we would love it if you subscribed to the podcast. Ratings and reviews, if you could take a little time to just like, be like George R. R. Martin, just like don't stop typing. Just keep typing. You don't even have to say Rob and Josh if you don't remember our names. Just come up with other TV characters. Would love to hear from you in the reviews. So that would be great. Rob, anything else?
Just everything else we got going on over on the
Big
reality
brother
side, RHAP, We Know Reality TV. But look, we'd love to read your comments and everything you have to say about this. That's what makes this fun to do what we get to do. So please keep this interactive. We love your comments, and make sure you hit subscribe for everything else we're doing here on We Know Scripted TV.
Yes, hit us up. We'll be back next week. House of the Dragon comes to an end. Survivor 46 already came to an end, but it comes to an end for me. And House of the Mermaid Dragon, for this season at the very least, comes to a close as well. Also, Rob, next week we're going to do a wand-off. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. The wand-off is back Wednesday night.
For 1 week only.
1 week only. New era wand-off.
New era wand-off on the Summer of Survivor. So going to be a bunch of songs about things I don't know anything about. Should be fun. Looking forward to the New Era wand-off on the Summer of Survivor podcast series. So that's going to be great. And it's going to be great when we all get back together again to talk about House of the Dragon Season 2 one last time. Until then, everybody, take care. Bye.